Happy September. I know I am late with this poetry class, but I am doing something a little different this month because this past summer has been busy, and now we are transitioning back to school, just back to everything picking back up, I feel like. And so I just want to start with a joke. I'm going to share my Bob's Burgers calendar because, fun fact, I like the show Bob's Burgers, and I have a calendar. It's a tradition that my brother gives me one every year. It's been a tradition maybe since 2022. I'm not sure. There's a napkin in it because I have September ready. I haven't looked at it yet, but I want to look at it with you. And so I'm going to first share a joke because I feel like we just need some laughter, some enjoyment, just something that I used to do. I used to try to share a joke every month, and then I stopped that. And I kind of want to bring it back because it is a part of me. I like jokes. So I'm going to share that. I'm going to share a poem still from my poetry calendar. I'm going to share the Bob's Burgers September calendar. And then we'll end with a joke I made up. All right, let's get into it with a deep breath. And here we go. So I'm going to choose a random page. This is the book. I went to a vendor market. Well, actually, it was a book event, actually. It was a book festival I went to maybe 2 weekends ago. And I got this book. It was $3, and the author signed it. Mark signed it. See, for Desiree, enjoy the laughs. So yeah, I'm going to turn to a random page, and hopefully it'll crack us both up. Because I have not read through this whole book. So it'll be fun. What kept the lion from returning home to the ridiculous group of cubs that he had grown up with? His foolish pride. Why was there so much gossip among the chess pieces? The knight was making advances toward the queen. How are stray dogs weighed down? By the pound. That's a clever one. That is a clever one. When did everyone realize the two judges were in love? When they began to court each other. Dun dun dun. So yeah, these are creative jokes. And let me see this last one. Why did the trash bags look so sad? They were down in the dumps. And then you can see that one. So yeah, there were some clever jokes. I liked it. Yeah. So those were the jokes so it's from a book at least. So it may not be poetry related, but it still is someone's book full of jokes. And now let's see my poetry calendar. I shared August and August poetry class if you would like to check that out. And now let's see what September is. It is blue. Dun dun dun. I'm going to show you first. Boop. And now I'm going to see it. Do we need to know each person who dies for death to hurt? For death to make us question how we're living? One more time. Do we need to know each person who dies for death to hurt? For death to make us question how we're living? I feel like that is very relevant and very needed to be said because I feel like death is happening around us every day, and it shouldn't be a norm, but it's considered like a norm. Like, oh, that happened, that tragedy, or that something happened, or just it doesn't even have to be like even hitting local news. It could be someone that you know or someone that you heard of, or it could be um, just someone that recently lost someone, and it affects us. It affects not only the person you know or the family or the community, but it also affects our world, um, depending on how it happened. And just because there's violence in our world, there's people feeling so depressed or so sad that they don't think they are being supported or cared about. And so they choose to leave this world, and that is sad. And so there's just a lot of different ways to even like touch on this topic, but we need to find a way to help each other, to be kinder, just be it's not it's easy to say selfish, but it's not be less selfish, even though for some people that may be the case. But it's more be mindful, be aware, be realize that we are all human trying to survive this world. How can you help someone survive? Not make it harder, not add to the struggle or add to the difficulty or just add to like a bad day. Like you don't want to add to someone's bad day or someone's hard day. Um, I don't know. I wrote this during when COVID just started. And so it was about like people that weren't wearing masks or people that didn't take it seriously or people that was just like, oh, it's happening there but not here, even though it's happening everywhere. Um, I don't know. And I feel like that's the case for war right now. Like, yes, it's happening not here or not near, but it still affects our life. It affects our world. It affects what is happening and what will happen in the future due to how things progress or due to how things de-escalate depending. And so it's just and because it's not just that, it could be due to the police actions, it could be gun violence, it can be suicide, it can be hate crimes, um, sadly internal or like familial disarguments that lead to violence when it shouldn't. There's just so many ways that violence and death occurs in our world, and it actually needs to start declining and not continue to increase. And what are those steps? What can we actually do? And talking about it is a step. Um, Sharing, sadly, those that have lost, sharing those stories, because a lot of those that have lost have started like programs or fundraisers, or in honor of this person they've started something, which is a way to remind us that some change has to happen. But there's also so much ways of like, how can we get to the people who have more power or more control to help us change the way violence is happening in our world. And so it's a big coming together. It's a big step. A lot of things to do, but it's something that needs to be said because it's we don't need to continue to be scared to live. We need to just be able to live. And it's the how. So yeah, this is me because this is my first time seeing this poem since I created this in December of 2024. So yeah, this is me just reacting to this poem. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what came up for you. And now we're gonna switch to the Bob's Burgers calendar and let's see what September is. And let me know if you watch Bob's Burgers. You can share that down below. So this is it. Ooh, it's a Mr. Fron one. Dr. Bojangles. Oh, how can I show you still? Dr. Bojangles, I need you to either come down in the next 35 minutes or stay up there for the next 2 hours for your own safety. I don't know if you're understanding any of this. Gene. He probably got the gist. He seems smart. Tina. He is a doctor. Frond. It's an honorary degree. I gave it to him, and I can take it away. I feel like I vaguely remember this episode. Um, but I guess, like, how do you interpret it for the month of September? So the cat is stuck in the tree, and Mr. Fron is struggling to get him out of the tree. I don't know. That's just interesting because I've never thought of, like, because it's just scenes from the show. It's just a part of the show put into a calendar. And I don't know if whoever created the calendar is, like, specifically putting it in the month for a specific reason, or is just like, oh, or maybe the episode was in September and they're just choosing a scene, or I don't know. I don't know how they choose. And so that's just my curiosity, like, why is this for September? We haven't had a Mr. Fron. I liked the April one because it focused on April Fools. That one was really cool. Let me show you April because it already passed. So this is all the ways Mr. Fish Owner had did April Fools to Bob in the previous years, and I found that so interesting and very creative. And I like that. I don't even remember that being in an episode, but maybe it was. But I like that. And then I can show you what August was. Let me show you August. August had Louise, Bob, and Jean. And I remember this episode, the sock episode. Sorry it's so slanted. I'm just struggling to hold it. But yeah. So that's the Bob's Burgers calendar. And so I'll have September up for the whole month, or the rest of the month, because we are in September 8th. I don't know if I said that, but it's September 8th, and I know I'm late with this. Yeah, so now we're going to end with my joke. And if you saw my Instagram, then you've already heard this joke. But I want to share it here in case you haven't, because it's clever. I don't know if it's funny. You can tell me. But it's clever. So, and I try to make it like writer, reader, book related because I am a writer. I am an author. And so I want to kind of keep it on that theme or that category. So, what is a writer's favorite game? Wordle. And so it's clever because Wordle is popular and people do it like every morning, I think it is. But I'm a writer and I don't play Wordle, so it's not a fact. It's just a joke. Maybe there are writers that play Wordle. You can definitely share that down below if you are a person that plays Wordle. I think it's cool because Lingo, which is where I feel like they got the idea. Lingo was a great show. I enjoyed watching it, and so I like that form of how Lingo has come back and is still fun to play. But I just haven't partaken in it. I haven't partaken in it. And even though I'm a writer, I do not know all the vocabularies that exist in the English language, so I might mess up sometimes. But yes, thank you so much for watching this poetry class. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was different than our other poetry classes, but hopefully it made you smile, it made you think and reflect or connect with the poem that I did share. Or made you laugh. You can share a joke down below if you have one, because I would love to hear more and new jokes. All right. I will see you next time, and don't forget, just write your story, and take care.